Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About Houses. I'm Todd.
I'm Oana.
Okay, so super exciting video today for two reasons. First of all, we're going to do an update to the Las Vegas real estate market. Second of all, is we are in our countdown to our 1,000th video. We have less than 20 left. So we're very excited about that. Don't know what's going to happen after 1,000, but probably just keep making more videos.
You mean we're not going to Disneyland?
We're not going to Disneyland, unfortunately. We can't. We cannot leave this table because we have to do nothing but watch the real estate market. We have to watch it. If we don't watch it, it goes out of control. Literally, we're holding the market together. Okay. So what we're going to do, though, is we're super excited today because two predictions that we made in the last year have come true. And we're going to talk about those in this video today. Okay. So first we'll go in and we'll look at the market action index. We'll look at some of the market profiles, and then we'll talk about the predictions we made last year. Okay, so of course this data just came out. The market action index for Las Vegas is 42. This is the highest it has been. Now remember, this is the 90-day average. I'm going to show you a slide which is going to show you the 7-day average. 42 is the highest. It was in the low 30s almost all fall, wasn't it?
Yes.
Last time it was 42 was like July.
Probably. So it's been almost a year since it's been in the 40s.
It never went to buyer's market. It stayed above 30 the whole time. It never went to a buyer's market. We went back to basically a normal market.
Yes.
Right? Okay, now we're going to flip over to the real-time market profile on the other side. As you can see, median list price has looked, and the far left of that's basically January. That has been increasing every single week. We actually have another slide to show you that'll put this in perspective. But the median list price is $539,987. If you go back to the beginning of that was in the 480s. It's literally up about $50,000 median list price. Okay. Median price new listings also is starting to creep up. Price per square foot, as you can see, is on an upward trajectory. That $249 was the lowest it was in January. So that was one prediction. One prediction was in January, we looked back at the data. We saw this median list price starting to rise, and we said the market's turned. Okay? And now we look back, for sure it has, because you can see we're $3 per square foot higher, and it's been on an upward trajectory since then. What's funny is we had somebody just come on the channel recently and said, oh, well, you guys are wrong. It's falling still because it's been falling since last year. And it's not. No, it's not. It's not falling. Prices are going up.
Right. So remember, it's not necessarily about the list price, the median sales price, or the average, or any of that. Stay focused on that price per square foot because that gives you the most accurate measurement of what's happening in the market versus all the other measurements, which make it a little more difficult to get an accurate read on what's happening in the market.
The median list price did decline year over year because a lot of the higher end stuff just never showed up on the market again. So when those homes don't go on the market, then the median's lower because the mix of properties coming on the market was much different. It was much more lower end properties. So people are like, oh, but it fell 8%. No. Those weren't. It doesn't mean a specific house declined 8% in value or the market fell 8% in value. It just meant the mix of houses that came on the market were 8% less than the houses that were on the market before. The second prediction that we made was last early summer, where the best months to buy would have been October, November, December, January. Literally nailed it because January was the last month before prices went back up and inventory started declining. And as they've moved down this list and you get to inventory, you can see it just has been shooting down. It has not increased 1 month in 1 day in the last 29 weeks in Vegas, 39 weeks nationally.
Right. So low inventory is still playing a significant role in what's happening in our market. So remember, the less inventory we have, the more pressure there is on buyers regarding their lack of selection. And then when something really good comes on the market, then we've got multiple buyers trying to purchase that property.
Okay. This next is a market action index. This is the 3-year look back or 5-year look back. And you can see the 7-day average is 50. It's 50. This is the first time we've seen it above 50 since the last 2 years when it was super hot. And if you go back to 2019, which is normal market, basically sat at 40 all year. The market today in this horrible, terrible, crashing real estate market. It's the worst market ever, right? is a hotter market than it was in 2019, which was an absolutely normal market.
Mhm.
Why is that?
Lack of inventory. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's lack of inventory. And you're seeing that. You're seeing that in increased list prices, and you're going, what? But yeah, 5% of listings out there actually have an increase in their list price rather than a decrease. Yes, we do have price reductions, but we are seeing price increases as well, and that lets you know what's happening in the market. That this is a pretty strong seller's market.
The other thing, and I will show this next one. This is the median list price graph, and as you can see, if you go back to the far left, every year it goes up and down. It declines in the fall, and you can see that where it did it from 2018 into 2019, and then it started going up again. And then just keep in mind the bottom of this chart isn't zero; it's 300,000. But as you can see, the rapid rise, if you look at the 90-day average of list price in Las Vegas, median list price was 504. The 7-day average is 539, is $35,000 higher. This is a substantial increase. And you see it looks like it's going straight up. It's not going straight up, but it is going up. We will see this for probably 2 more months. We will see this to go up. And Oana, this doesn't happen. This never happened in 07, 8, or 9, right? We never saw prices go up.
Right. So, I mean, what does all this really mean? I think at the end of the day, we need to kind of look at it in context. So this context is super important, right? So we're seeing all these price increases in the spring, which we normally do. And we're going to see kind of not a whole lot happening in the summer, which we normally do. And then we're going to see price declines most likely in the fall, which we normally do. Now, so these price increases over the spring, the not a whole lot going on this summer, and the slight decreases in the fall, it's going to give us this year that, looking back on the whole year, it's going to be a really stable year. So if you're looking at the bookends, we're going to end up probably pretty close to where we started the year. We might be a little higher or a little lower, but nothing really exciting. It's just going to be kind of a do-nothing year.
This is price per square foot. Last week alone, when we did this, the 7-day average was $251. Week before that was $250. It's going up $1 per square foot per week. That's pretty substantial. Once it flips in front of the 90-day average, it tends to stay that way. If you look at this chart, it's for like 2-year period it led. So 2-year prices went up for 2 years straight. We had the normal adjustment / decline that we have every year from the spring to the fall. And it's going back up again. This is certainly not a crashing housing market.
No. I mean, all of this is kind of an indication, like I just said, of an overall stable and typical market.
Okay, here's the inventory. Now, you can see which way this thing is going. Inventory is disappearing. Now, if you look over there at 2021 and 2022, remember, those were the hottest years ever where inventory basically was gone. It was all being purchased up super quick. Mm-hmm. If you go back to the left, though, and look at the last, 2019, we have substantially less inventory than we had this same time in 2019. This time in 2019, we had over 5,000 homes listed. This is just single-family homes and townhomes in Las Vegas. And now with the 7-day average, we're below 3,000. Mm-hmm. So we have like almost half as many. And you can see the trend. And you can see back then in 2019, that inventory was increasing slightly. More homes are coming out of the market that we're selling, and the opposite's happening. These things are flying off the market. Interest rates, though, not really. I mean, interest rates are certainly down substantially from the fall.
Right.
You can still get low 5 if you get a 15-year fixed or a VA loan, right?
Right. So this is going to be really interesting. When interest rates turn, which they will, when interest rates turn, is the housing market going to go ahead and take off again? And that's a substantial possibility. The interesting thing, I think, to me, is that interest rates started going up last spring. So by this fall, we're going to be about 18 months into it, and we know that historically interest rates don't go up more than 18 months. Not that this is written in stone, but that's historically kind of what happens. So if interest rates start to go down, let's say maybe in October, November, we could see housing take off before the traditional takeoff at the beginning of the spring. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, in which case I will have been wrong and housing will end up maybe higher by the end of the year than than we started in January by a lot more than a point or two. So we'll see what happens.
What about the millions of foreclosures that the banks are just waiting, they're timing to drop them all at exactly the same time? We've been waiting for 3 years, I think, for these foreclosures to be released into the wild.
Right. So are they the same ones that have the millions of vacant homes too?
Oh, okay. Speaking of the million of vacant homes, what about the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of new homes that the builders have built, and then they finish them, and then they're just going to let them sit there, and they're going to wait till the same time, and then all the builders on a coordinated strike on the country are going to dump them all into the economy at once, strictly to crash the housing market, to give the finger to all of us, to show us how wrong we were. Because the Crash Bros talk about these millions of new homes that have been built.
Sure. So the new home builders are going to perform a kamikaze move and dump everything on the market at once and basically just commit suicide, right?
Kind of. I mean, that's what the Crash Bros are saying.
That makes sense. That's what anybody would do, right?
Let's think about this logically. You just built a brand new home. The person that was going to buy it fell out. You either, what are your two options while you're finishing up the house? If it just fell out of escrow.
Oh, if it just fell out of escrow, the first thing you do is pick up the phone and start calling all the other people that said, hey, if that house falls out, give me a call.
Oh, okay.
I've been on the receiving end of those calls. And
done a bunch of them, actually.
I've done a bunch of them.
Okay.
It's called being nice to sales agents on site and spending a little bit of FaceTime with them and them knowing that I do have ready, able, and willing buyers who can step in and purchase those homes. And those homes never even make it into the MLS. They just get turned to the next buyer. I actually had somebody who did that. The previous buyer backed out on like a Wednesday. He called me on Thursday and said, hey, she's going to be backing out. I don't have signed documents yet, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be backing out. I said, no problem. I've got somebody who wants to purchase the property. He's already seen the model. He's ready to go. I went to the property. I FaceTimed my client. I said, okay, this is what it looks like. It's done. All we got to do is just close the deal. He said, yep, go ahead and sign me up. Went back. I walked back to the sales office. I said, here's the information. Go ahead and send the purchase agreement and we're good to go. And that was it. So that house never made it to the MLS. That house literally, they had the earnest money from my client before they had the signed cancellation from the previous buyer, because we were just rocking and rolling getting that done. So does that count as something that fell out? Yes. Did that hurt the builder in any way? No. That house was finished. The buyer stepped in and he went ahead and did the deal and we were good to go. That builder was not harmed in any way. If anything, to some extent, it may have been a little more profitable for that builder depending on how he charged that buyer, because my client ended up paying for all the upgrades that the previous buyer had chosen. So I don't know if she had put any money down against any of those upgrades or not, and if the builder got to keep any of that. I wasn't privy to that conversation. But the bottom line is, at the very least, the builder was not hurt, or the builder actually made more money if they got to keep any portion of the previous buyer's funds. So that's kind of what happens with new home builders. Now, if that doesn't happen, then the next thing that they do is put it in the MLS, right?
The MLS. So they're actually included in the inventory number.
Right. So at that point, it's included in the inventory number, and it shows up. And if I had not had that buyer, there were other buyers actually behind us. I was just the first person that he called, and I answered my phone. I think that had I not answered my phone, he would have gone on to the next person.
Yeah, and this was this was at a time when it was hard to get a house.
It was hard to get a house.
Super competitive.
But it's still like that, in the sense that when you're dealing with new home construction, these site agents, they do have a list of all of us who have come in, expressed an interest in that floor plan, and when something falls out, they do give us a call. Now, they do that for a couple of reasons. One, because they want to make their numbers work. It's not out of the goodness of their heart. It's because they want to make their numbers work.
Okay.
And number two, it's because they want to maintain good relationships with realtors who bring them business, right? Because as a realtor, I have lots of choices as far as what home builders I take my clients to see.
Okay.
So they want to make sure that they maintain a good relationship with me, because that buyer is a one-time deal, but I am not a one-time deal. I am a repeat customer to that sales agent because I keep bringing my clients in to purchase at that location.
Okay, back to the market update.
Sorry.
So now you know everything you want to know about new home builders. Okay, so there's not a bunch of foreclosures that are getting ready yet. There's not a bunch of new home, not even that are being built, because the new home builds are down. And there's literally nobody selling. Almost nobody's selling. Very few people are selling. We just listed a property in an area. There's literally nothing in that area. Like there's nothing on the market. It's the first thing that popped on the market. What's the outlook? What does this look like? We looked at the numbers. Prices are going up. Inventory, like all the good things about the market are going up, and all the bad things about the market are going down. So inventory is going down. The time on the market's going down. I had another chart I didn't show you, but it was time on the market. The median days on market is absolutely declining at a ridiculously rapid rate as these homes are being scooped up and new homes are disappearing super fast.
Right.
It's the largest decline I've ever seen in median days on the market. It's absolutely, now it was kind of high because we got up like 72 days or some crazy high number, like kind of a high number. So it's been tanking. It's at like 40 or 50.
Okay.
So it dropped in just 2 weeks. It dropped like 20 days, which is unheard of for it to drop that many days.
Right. But, that again has to do with the lack of inventory.
Okay.
And that's going to be reflected in all of these numbers, because when there's no inventory, then whatever good product comes on the market is going to get snapped up. The product that isn't that great, that's going to linger.
What about my housing crash? I want to go out and buy a bunch of cheap rentals when home prices drop 40, 50%. They haven't really dropped that much. Everything's basically the same.
Well,
they're going up again, actually. So
yeah, there's that. I don't see that happening.
Okay. All right.
All right. So what did you think of the video? Did it provide you with some good information? Did you enjoy it? Leave us a comment. Please be kind to one another in the comments.
Oh, one last thing.
Oh, what?
This is the hottest week you could have to sell your house.
Oh,
Zillow.
To put your house on the market.
To put your house on the market. If you're putting your house on the market, this is the week technically.
So you're going to get the most eyeballs on your house.
You'll get the most eyeballs and you'll get the most money for your house. It's basically the third week in April, which is right now.
Right.
So if you are, what do they have to do if they want us to list their house for them? Because they want to cash out and get all that money before the market crashes 40, 50%.
There you go. Our phone number, email address are in the video description. Please contact us. Remember, while this week is the best week to list your house, according to Bankrate and Zillow and everybody else, the house will actually sell in, I believe it's June.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this whole thing is kind of nutty. But
that's when it'll close.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. You list it in April, you get an offer in early May, you sell in June, kind of a thing.
Right.
Okay.
So anyway, that's interesting. Please be nice to one another in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified next time we put out this fabulous content. Like the video, share the video, leave us a note, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.